why I have them on, yeah. Begin my guess, that's why I have them on, yeah. Begin my guess, that's why I have them on, yeah.
Welcome to another episode of I Can't Make This Up, the podcast about breaking stereotypes through stories that can't be made up. I am your host, AJ Dunk, spelled all caps. You can find everything at ajdunk.com. But enough about me for now. I'd like to get into this episode, and I'd like to introduce my guests. You know, my guests are special to me because they're taking out the time out of their day to be on an episode of I Can't Make This Up. So how can I not consider that to be special? So guest, if you would, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Devin Ritchie.
Cool. Cool.
I'm a Herald Knight at UCB. I'm an actor, artist. I live in Ridgewood, Queens, and I'm originally from California. I'm a teacher at UCB as well.
Cool. I know Devin.
I know AJ.
So it's not like I have.
We're not full strangers.
Yeah, we're not like, hey, I met you. Come on, do the episode.
And you
like,
do that with like people you meet on the bus and stuff.
Do I?
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We would meet in a more general location. I'm not like, all right, I'm gonna come to your house, but there are people that maybe I've met once or twice, and I was like, they're willing to let me come into their house, so I'll go.
Absolutely.
So I've done that before.
Well, you're in my house right now.
We're in the training center, aka
UCB,
his house. That's fair enough. I'm with that. All right, let's get on into it.
Let's get on into it. Okay.
Now,
it's a snowy day.
Yes, and it feels like it's
the first one.
10:30 p.m., but it's only like 4. Before the day even started. All right, so what I'm going to do is ask you to give me either a word, a phrase, a topic, something. Okay. And I'm going to tell you a story that has happened in my life that I cannot make up.
Okay. I kind of want a theme here. So.
Okay, all right.
Camping.
Oh, man. I got a lot. I've got a lot of stories about that. I used to go camping in the motorhome every summer with my godfather.
In Jersey?
In South Carolina, Myrtle Beach.
You're from South Carolina?
No, that's where we would travel.
Oh, cool.
We would go from New Jersey, drive a camper down to Myrtle Beach, right past south of the border, and then we would stay there for like 2 weeks out of the summer. Great. So my cousin used to go with us down there, and we would sit there and we were like teenagers. All the snacks. We wake up later in the day in summer, eat the snacks, go out, play basketball, go to the beach, whatever, come back, repeat the process. Yeah. So they used to run to Walmart and get food and bring it back. And then one day, out of nowhere, my uncle was just like looking through the cabinets. He was like, "Hey, man, where the Oreos?" And then my cousin was like, "Hey, what? Like, he was like, "Are you kidding me? Y'all ate the Oreos in one day?" And he was just flipping out.
And you're talking like a full tray, like the 3.
I'm talking about yes, the whole pack. The whole pack was gone, and it's like I stayed quiet majority of it because my cousin was doing little dumb shit. Like he was like, yo, you gotta know how to cook the Oreos. I'm like, cook it? Yeah. He's like, you put them on the plate, put them in the microwave for 3 seconds, and you take it out, and it tastes so great. He was right. I
might try that.
He was
3 seconds.
So it's just like I was sitting back watching what's transpiring.
I'm making some assumptions about this that I'm gonna have to. Were you guys like high? Were you guys like
no
at this point in your life?
No, he just knew like
Oreos, so
fat man snacks tricks. So like I sat back and I watched my uncle yell about this whole pack of Oreos being gone. My cousin be like, well, damn, they was good. And I just sat because I just seen both sides. And that's what camping initially makes me think of.
Wow.
To the point where my uncle turned 60 or something, like a year or two ago. And I wrapped up a nice pack of Oreos and gave it to him for his birthday.
That's great. Do you have like a favorite weird flavor of Oreos? Because they got all those weird flavors.
You know what? That Oreo?
Just the inside out one?
Yeah, pretty much.
Those are really good.
That one with the white cookies and the black cream. I was like, okay. Because otherwise on the regular Oreo, I like to take the cream, slice it off, and eat the cookie by itself.
You don't eat the cream?
It's too much sugar now.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, give me the whole fucking sleeve. I'll just...
Yeah.
But now, like, ever since double stuff, it's too much stuff.
You know, I was never on about double stuff. If they had a half stuff, I would be all
Yeah.
about that.
Oh, they do. Thin ones.
I've seen the thin ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like those.
All right, so now...
Key lime one. I like.
Ooh, so many flavors. I can't keep up with them, especially when Halloween comes around and shit. So let's say that you were in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach with me, and we were out there, and my uncle just had his whole escapade about the Oreos and how they're missing and all that. Okay. He leaves, and my cousin pulls out another pack. He's like, all right, yo, let's eat these. But while we do it, we're going to watch your movie, Devin.
Okay.
What is the name of your movie?
It's a movie, like, it's my movie?
Yes, it's your movie.
Okay. It's like a movie about me?
It doesn't, you don't have to be in the movie.
Okay.
But it's like, hey, this is Devin's movie. Like, if it was like, it would replace your favorite movie.
Oh, okay, cool. What would it be called? You know, like, when I kind of like hit my base creative, I'm Scottish and from California, like the Bay Area, and I've just like always worked in wine, and I love the fog and bagpipes and just like hilly cliff sides and and seaside and stuff, and so that's kind of like my aesthetic. And when I start to like think drama and wind, you know, and I'm like starting from there and working back. I like, you know, like Celtic banjo music. Okay. And like, you know, movies about like edgy people and drug users. You know? It's something kind of that direction, you know, train spotting a little, you know. Okay. You know, I also like lightness and fun and comedy and singing and musicals, and so I think that like there would have to be some like singing, you know, in like big musical numbers in this movie. But what is it called? Let's call it. So you know how like Zach Braff's movie's Garden State?
Yes.
I'm gonna call mine Golden State.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That'll bring a lot of. It could bring a lot of people in too from different.
I honestly loved Garden State when I was a kid, and now I watched it again and I was like, oh no, it's just like it's really cringeworthy now, but in a way that I really really loved it, and I kind of do want to like make a kind of sincere parody of it, you know, like.
Yeah. It would have to be some type of comedy. Yeah, I know there's going to be. I don't know what level, but there's like going to be comedy. Sappy. Yeah. I would definitely watch a movie like that because I don't even know one movie that represents that background in a
right. And I didn't even mention queerness, you know.
There we go.
Which I think is like big for, you know. I want to represent that, you know, and it does get often put to the side or in the shadows or something, or side characters, and I'm like, no, you know, entree.
All right, Golden State coming to a theater near you.
Garden State,
and people gonna be like, oh, the basketball players gonna be upset.
Yes. Yeah. They're like,
then
this
they'll be
movie's
educated.
About a gay guy doing drugs, singing songs.
But then they'll be like, you know what? Fuck it, let's watch it.
I'm at Golden State Warrior.
All right. So let's moving on along
Okay.
into the next segment. Now, can you think of a time where somebody looked at you and thought something, and then they jumped to an assumption, and you were like, whoa, wait a minute now. Don't try to play me.
I think those are two different questions. So, like, when do people try to play me, or somebody, like, makes an assumption about me?
I would say that when somebody basically spoke for you, and you were like, wait a minute, that wouldn't be my answer.
Mm-hmm. Let me think about that for a sec. I certainly get interpreted a lot of ways. Like, okay, even last week, this is like sort of a long story, but I'll try to just be quick about it. So I was in Cuba last week.
Okay.
And I,
Welcome back.
thank you. And we went out one night. I was there for my brother's bachelor party, and we went out one night, and we were dancing. We were going to go out dancing late. We went to this club that we heard was cool. No one was there except for like two gay guys dancing. And I'm like, and they're really hot. I'm like, I'm going to go talk to those gay guys and see if they know what's up and like where we should go. They did. They totally loved showing us around, and they were like singing opera. We hung out with them for like 4 or 5 hours. They took us to this like amazing club that I couldn't believe, and it was just like smoke, lasers, video screens, all this stuff in Havana.
The fog.
And there's a lot of more details, and other people started hitting on me at the club, and I make out with one of the guys that we're with, and then I make out with both of them, and we're like, let's do this. And I'm like, okay, let's do it, And we go back to our Airbnb, and, we're about to get started, and they're just like, this costs money, right? And I did not know that it costs money. I did not know that.
Oh, man. Damn.
Yeah. So they tried to play me a little. I didn't do it. I didn't even ask price. Everybody I've told the story to, they're like, how much? I bet it was much. I'm like, I didn't ask. Not that I'm against like sex work. And I was even thinking about it. I'm like, okay, well. But trust was gone now. Like, had they approached this question differently? And one of them was nice. He was like, yeah, we kind of tricked him.
You should have said, yeah, how much? You should have counter offered. Yeah, how much are you guys paying?
Negotiated. I don't know. A few people were like, probably would have been cheap, but I'm like, I didn't come here with hustler money,
You should have said, yeah, okay. Now, how much are you guys willing to pay? You should have acted as if you were in the same thing.
Oh yeah,
like,
I'm gonna charge them.
Yeah.
No, man, you should have seen him. I was definitely the one paying in that situation.
Oh, that's so wrong.
I look back on the evening, and because my friends were hanging out with them too, and I'm just like, did you guys? And they're like, we had no idea. And I'm like, okay, cool. So it wasn't just me. But looking back, there were several signs. And also, like, everybody at that club was a sex worker, I think.
Well, next time they'll ask people before they get too far.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll learn.
Maybe they will. They will.
Well, that answers the question. That's a perfect explanation right there.
Yeah, they tried to play me.
Yeah, I was in a similar situation.
They were trying to be like, you already owe me money. And I'm like, no, I do not. No, I don't owe you money already.
No habla Cuba. Let's move along to one word. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say a word or a phrase, something like that, and you respond with just one word. Okay?
Okay.
When I get to the last one, I'll let you know it's the last one. You give me one word, and then you can explain it.
Okay.
All right?
One word.
All right. So here we go. Composition notebook.
Fresh.
Okay. Let's see. Pipe dreams.
Surfing.
Rudolph.
Special.
Mud slippers.
Mud slippers.
Mud slippers.
Dogs.
Okay. Number.
3.
Week.
3.
Community.
College.
Colors.
Orange.
Hey, it's nice to see you.
You too.
Okay. Air condition. Black.
White.
White.
Black.
Asian.
Rice.
Muslim.
Like the headscarves.
Indian.
Curry.
Family.
California.
All right. This will be the last one.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you. You give me one word, and then you can explain.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Ritchie. One word.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna get hippy dippy on you.
All right, let's get it.
Wind.
Wind. Okay. Now, why do you say wind?
So, I am a Libra. So I'm an air sign.
Okay.
And I do feel like I identify with that. I'm a Libra, Leo rising, and an Aquarius moon. So I'm air, fire. And so that feels like my composition as well. I've always felt very at home with the wind. I feel like in those same, people are like, oh, it's so windy outside, I hate it. I'm like, I feel like it recharges me. And like in the same way that I feel like a cold breeze on my cheek is the exact same way I felt a cold breeze on my cheek when I was like 4 or 5 years old. In the way that I'm like, oh, it's like a subtle reminder that I'm the same person.
Okay.
And what is the wind, right? You can't explain it. It's just moving around us, and it's intensely powerful and refreshing, and a breeze, and you can't see it, and it's electricity.
Yeah.
And in a way that I think it's like soul and charisma as well.
Yeah.
So, and it's just constantly traveling around the world.
Okay.
And it's the space between everything else, Like
Yeah.
everybody likes earth or fire or water. And I'm like, okay, mine is everything else. Mine is all of other space,
Yeah.
And I try to get power from the wind, you know,
right.
and be like the wind.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get that. I like that. Free flowing.
I try to.
It doesn't have a steady direction per se.
Hey,
I like that.
Yeah.
It reminds you of childhood. I'm glad that you're not a storm chaser.
I do find them gorgeous. Yeah, but like, I'm not gonna go out there and be in twisters. No.
I'm glad that you're in acting
Yeah.
in comedy and everything
Right.
else.
I
And
feel like I'm so hippy dippy with you today. I was like just prepared to tell funny stories.
I could see a Twister remake though on
The first
on
one
your
still holds
idea
up. Oh yeah.
of how you would
Mm-hmm.
take in that moment of
Right.
being out there.
Just like feeling the wind and then just getting swept up with the cows. Yeah. Helen Hunt.
All right. Now we're going to move right into
Great.
what happened.
What happened?
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up a hypothetical scenario, and then you're going to explain how we got there.
Okay.
All right. So we're sitting on a bench, and I have on a camouflage kilt.
Kill.
Yes. I have bagpipes sitting next to me.
Got it.
I have a wife beater on, tank top,
The traditional
guinea
Scottish
tea,
grove.
whatever you want to refer to it now. I don't know the names that
Guinea
people refer. Yeah, a lot of names. And I have on a Iron Man mask.
Okay.
All right. You're sitting next to me, and you are wearing one of those suits, like swimsuits, but like the kind that like surfers, like a bodysuit.
Oh yeah.
So you have on that, and you have on a ski hat and Timberlands.
Okay.
So to recap, we're sitting down. I have on a camouflage kilt. I have on a wife beater, and I have on an Iron Man mask with bagpipes sitting next to me. You're sitting next to me. You have on a wetsuit. You have a ski hat and Timberlands on.
Okay.
A person walks up, looks at you, looks at me, then looks back at you, and says, "What happened?" What do you tell them?
Well, what had happened was...
That's the only way you can start. See, what had happened was...
Okay. What happened was that... So there's these Highland games that I go to, and I grew up growing up Scottish, that are just like big, huge festivals for like pipes and drummers and caber tossing and all this stuff. But it's just like a fair as well, and they like rent out convention centers and stuff. But they like double booked it with a Comic-Con like right next to it, like a local Comic-Con. And you were booked at both, and you're running back and forth Mrs. Doubtfire style.
Okay.
Like, running back and forth, and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And I'm like, well, I'm busy, teaching up on the mountain, giving like surf lessons on the mountain. So that's why we've got a pool up there. And so I just hopped right out, and I put on my ski hat and my Timberlands, and I'm coming down to help you out, pull off your Mrs. Doubtfire shenanigans at this Highland Games Comic-Con festival.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. That's a great answer for a nosy person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't need to tell them all. I had to mind your fucking business. Keep walking.
Mrs. Doubtfire style. I like that. If you're not familiar with the reference, then go look it up, because it's just a known thing that you should know.
Doubtfire still, right?
Yeah, but I just don't know who's listening. So just for their sake.
Yeah.
That's all.
In class, I used to like always reference the movie Liar Liar.
Okay.
With Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, I've been like, "You guys know the movie Liar Liar?" And people are like, "No."
Oh my gosh.
What? And I'm like, "When were you born?" And they're like, 2000. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't have to take my references.
All right. Now that was a story that was made up.
Yeah, that didn't happen to us.
Now we want to hear a story that you can't make up.
Okay.
So now we've spoken about a lot. I've spoken about the Oreo situation.
Yes.
We've talked about your movie, Golden State.
Yeah.
We've done One Word. We've done a good amount.
Mm-hmm.
So you can draw from any of those things, or you can just share a story that has nothing to do with any of that.
Okay.
I just ask that it's a true story. We've been real this episode, so just supply a story that you can't make up.
Right.
I'm going to listen.
Okay.
We'll let you explain it, and then if there's any holes, just asking for clarification.
Sure.
That's all.
Well, I guess I'll stick to like the suggestion of camping that I gave you.
Okay.
And I'm an Eagle Scout.
Okay.
So I went to a lot of Boy Scout camp growing up. And there was a time in my troop where there was no younger boys than me for like 3 years after. Like once like my kind of generation got in, they stopped getting new kids for like a while. We just were lazy about it.
Okay.
And then once I was like 15, they were like, oh fuck, like we're gonna lose this entire troop if we don't get new kids in.
Yeah.
And so then they did, but then there's such an age gap between me and everybody else, and like they're all at Boy Scout camp. You call them Little Timmies. Anybody who's younger than you is just a Little Timmy.
Okay.
And so all the Little Timmies in my troop were just like significantly younger than me, and I had an army of them. I had like 30 of them, and I was like 16 years old, and the senior patrol leader of my troop, and I was like in charge of them, and like they were fur enough that there was no like 14-year-olds to like sass me. They were all like 12 and 13, but in order to go be my senior patrol leader, they have to like send me to like this leader training camp for a week. And my mom, single mother, was just like, I can't afford that. And the troop was like, okay, we'll send him because he's the only qualified person to do this.
Yay!
And so they sent me. And I had to go to a week of this camp where, like, it's like a little boot campy where we have to, like, wake up and run down a hill at, like, 6 a.m. and jump in the lake and, like, work out and stuff. It was, like, a little too much for me. But there is one night where you, like, go out away from your campsite and you, like, hike far away, and I'm in charge of like this little group of guys, and you like hike to a remote campsite, and it's just your job to be back by 10 a.m. the next day. We did not get back at 10 a.m. the next day. Well, we just stayed up late and we're like partying and like having fun and whatever, and we saw like other troops like going back early, and we're like, oh, we should go back. And then we realized we're hella late, and so we should take a shortcut. And the shortcut was not a shortcut at all. And I'm a good Boy Scout, and I'm a good hiker, and I'm good at all this shit. And I got lost. And I got lost so bad, and we like off of the trail, lost. So like, if we just cut through this, no. And now we're like down a hill, and we're like to the point where like we have to like kind of rope and rock climb at some point to like get. I know. And then we like, I also like walked through Poison Oak, and I walked through, and then we finally come back, and I stroll back like 5 hours later than I should be there, and the camp is like looking for us, like, where did you go? I almost failed that. Like they almost were like, hey, that kid did not do well in leadership training. He got lost. And then I had to get an award in front of, because I was like the leader of my little crew, and I had to get an award in front of my like the whole camp, how late I was. And I'm a late guy generally. I'm like just like running a little behind on like, just like a California center schedule a little bit, But that was egregious. I had to get this like huge award in front of everybody. It was a compass with a clock on it.
Did you got the award because you were the only one?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, no, me and my like 4 guys in my patrol. Yeah. And yeah, it was bad.
It just, as soon as you said that, like, yeah, and then we just went a different way. I was like,
somebody had an idea. I say somebody, maybe it was me. I don't know, but like, and I've hiked through those woods for like my whole life, really. And we're like, it's just, we'd have to go all the way around. So let's just cut through this thing, and we didn't do it right.
You were trying to be like the wind.
Yeah, I was trying to be like the wind, and sometimes that is chaotic, man.
Climbing up rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Doing
was, like,
all this
fun, and like we're using all of our skills for the first time, though, and I'm like actually using my compass, and I'm actually lost, and I'm like, oh well, I actually know how to rock climb and do all this and shit, and I packed extra shit to be prepared, and I'm using it, Yeah, but this whole like leadership training that they do was all bullshit. Like, and I started figuring it out during it, because like we have this big project that we're supposed to do, like the whole camp, and we have like meetings about it. We're just supposed to build this little like stave bridge from like this section to this section. We have like, and it's a big project, and it takes everybody, and we didn't get it done in the first day, partially because like they're giving us hella like snacks and like putting out watermelon and trying to ignore and trying to distract us the whole time, the staff. And then they freak out, and we're like, you guys didn't finish in time. You're the only group who's never finished in time. Oh my God, you guys are all not gonna pass. And then we have to have a secret, or we have to have like crazy meetings suddenly, like emergency meetings. Like, what are we gonna do? How do we schedule more time? And then it was just like, well, there's 5 hours of free swimming on Friday. I guess we could potentially give that up. And I'm putting it together. I'm like, we were never gonna have 5 hours of free swimming. That's not even a thing here. Like, that we were all, this is like a whole tactic. And then at the end, like, they're helping us put it together. I'm like, this is bullshit. And I started telling them that day too, and I'm like, this happens every year, doesn't it? Yeah, it does.
And that's why you showed up late.
Mm-hmm. I'm going back to the woods.
Oh, this isn't in the script. How many kids were with you?
I thought you meant how many do I have? I'm like I had 5 kids with me, I think. Yeah.
And they were the same age as you, or they were?
They were a little younger, I think, but.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have so many Boy Scout stories.
Oof, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not out exploring in the woods like that.
No, I was, man, for a long time.
I would have to be with close group that I trusted, but then it's like, all right, we got some type of plan. We know this location. We know this location. Like,
yeah. Do you go camping now?
Last time I went camping, I went upstate New York, and it's like it was Amish people on the road, and we were just like really
that's cool
out there. I thought it was the coolest thing when we were able to like see the stars and point at them with a flashlight.
That's great.
So, but no.
It's been a long time for me.
I would have if we were like maybe if the Captain Planet group was there, you were Wind, and maybe I was Heart.
But I always wanted to be Kwame. I always liked Earth as far as Captain Planet was.
Okay.
He just seemed to have like the most effectiveness in that. Like the power of Earth. He would just like point at the Earth and it was just, I'm like, that's dope.
So you appreciate the others. That's good.
I mean,
That's
I appreciate all of the elements. They all have a home.
And here's my question. As soon as you got back, did you have to give the speech? Did you get the award and speech then? Or was there some time?
No. It was like some time later. They like made me an award. But like, honestly, it was like kind of punk rock, where everyone was like expecting me to feel like a huge fuck up. And I'm like, y'all just gave me a moment, Y'all taught me a bad lesson here today.
All's well that ends well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Whew, thank you for that story, man.
Oh, man.
I know Boy Scouts, but I haven't heard any real Boy Scout stories. So
Yeah.
thank you
I've
for
got
that.
them for days. Wild shit happens.
So now, when it comes time and you are a memory, how would you like to be remembered?
How would I like to be remembered? I've been thinking about this, and I think everybody thinks how they're going to be remembered fondly for like maybe the first few years that they're no longer here. And I guess, and I've been like, I guess I maybe don't care for like big statues or ships named after people or anything,
Okay.
or the way like men try to get their names on anything, mountains, bridges, whatever, like. And I sort of want to reckon with the fact that like I'm just going back to the earth, baby, and like don't put my name on anything, and I'm going to like live through with my ancestors and family or people I've affected. Like that's how I will live on entirely. And not to say like I don't want to be remembered a certain way, because like certainly the people who've like lived with me, I would like them to remember me, but like I don't want shrines really, and I'd like to be remembered as somebody who was a light, and somebody who can bring joy, and somebody who is creative, maybe kind of breaking, makes people think in a different way,
I got you.
It's a lofty goal, but I think I'd like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that the after a couple years thing really struck me. So after a couple years, what would you like?
Forget about me. That's what I mean.
Wow.
Because I'm like 7 billion people on the earth,
Yeah.
I don't need to be one of the huge names. I think it's weird that anybody is, like certainly if I even, let's say I make like great art or something, like how long is that going to keep my name around, And if I'm doing it for name recognition, I'm doing it for the wrong reasons, you know?
Ooh.
And it's not to say I don't care, because I care. But, like, I'm truly trying to have, like, ego death, you know?
Okay.
And I'm just like, you know, if you love me, you love me. If you don't remember me, fuck off. You know? You know, I just don't want to have like any ego to be like, oh, I want to be remembered this way and this way and this way. And I'm just like, it is what it is.
I get you.
I'm just, you know, I'm the wind, baby.
I like that.
I want you to remember me as the wind.
I like that.
After I die, you feel that cold breeze on your cheek? That's me.
I like, oh, man. Give me an incense. Let me light an incense up in this. I can wave it back and forth like I'm at a concert. I'm not trying to, like, I'm just bringing humor to the situation, but I understand what you're saying. I like the outtake, the way that you put it that way. I've spoken to a lot of people. I've asked everybody the same questions, and that's the first time where it was answered in a way that I've never asked somebody, oh, wait a minute, can you, like, elaborate a little bit on it? Never done that. So
cool.
I like that a lot. I appreciate that. All right.
Great.
Any last words before we close up this episode?
No, this was so fun, AJ. I can't wait to listen back to this and laugh.
All right, everybody. There it is, my man, Devin Ritchie. You can catch him on Harold Nights at UCB. Check out the theater, UCB Hell's Kitchen. Come check him out. See what he does. You're going to laugh. Trust me, he's going to be like the wind in many ways. Once again, the name is AJ Dunk, spelled all caps. You can find me at www.ajdunk.com. From there is my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter. It's all located at ajdunk.com. I've got my YouTube page. I've got a lot on there. Send me an email if you would like to subscribe to be on the list. I can tell you about future shows, future episodes, all that. Have a blessed day, everybody. Do what makes you feel right. Help up. Say something nice to somebody else. Hook them up. Thanks again. Once again, the name is AJ Dunk, spelled all caps. Don't forget, laughter's always in style. And let them know, ma.